Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating: history's shift through empire's impact, a Hebrew perspective on Constantine and the rise of Sunday tradition. Every generation ends up asking these profound questions, right? Like, where exactly does human tradition begin, and where does divine revelation end? Well, today, we're going to explore a monumental shift in human history, where ancient tradition wasn't actually transformed by a divine text, but by a human empire. Let's get right into it. So here's the massive historical mystery we're looking at. How exactly did Sunday rise to such prominence when Scripture itself never actually changed the Sabbath? For centuries, people have just kind of assumed that this widespread shift in religious practice must have come from some clear-cut divine mandate. But when you really dig into the ancient manuscripts and you look closely at the historical fragments, a completely different truth starts to emerge. Which brings us to our first section, the Hebrew foundation, a divine logic of completeness. To really understand this historical shift, we absolutely have to understand the foundation first. Now, in ancient Hebrew manuscripts, every single word carries a heartbeat. These aren't just aesthetic decorations. They reveal a deep layer of divine logic. They're literally windows into a profound relational blueprint. Take Hebrew anthropology, for example. The relationship begins with two distinct beings, male and female, standing face to face, as Ezer Kenegdo. This translates beautifully to equal counterparts, who together reflect the image of Yahweh. It's this foundational concept of completeness. It establishes that the original relational design was always meant to be whole, balanced, and perfectly unified. Think of this original design almost like a giant puzzle. When the pieces are connected, everything is whole. But when those pieces are separated, it's a fracture. In Hebrew, this fracture or separation is pronounced shavor. It represents a brokenness within that beautiful original design. Literally, it's the moment those puzzle pieces scatter, completely disrupting the unity and the intended rhythm of the relationship. But the narrative doesn't just leave us stranded in that brokenness. The act of gathering up those scattered puzzle pieces and rejoining them symbolizes restoration, and that is pronounced tikkun. The pieces have to be carefully put back together in an order that matches the original meaning of the whole scene. So this sets up a really crucial framework for everything we're unpacking today. We have wholeness, we have brokenness, and then we have the ultimate underlying promise of restoration. Okay, let's move into our next part, the apostolic rhythm, echoes of history. Humanity is literally always standing between light and shadow. We build things, we break things, and we're constantly searching for wholeness. The Hebrew story doesn't shy away from this struggle. It actually uses it as a canvas for revelation. When we look at how the earliest believers navigated their world, the historical record is just remarkably consistent. Immediately following the resurrection, the original scriptural rhythm remained entirely unbroken. Think about it. The disciples continued keeping the Sabbath. Then the apostles kept the Sabbath. And as the movement spread like wildfire, all the early believers kept the Sabbath. It was this continuous historical flow that maintained the original covenant rhythms without missing a single beat. Now, there's a super common misconception about this era that we definitely need to clear up. Did early believers gather on the first day of the week? Yes, they absolutely did. But when we look objectively at the historical sources, we find that these were strictly moments of fellowship. They'd gather, break bread together, and support each other as a community. Crucially, though, these first-day gatherings were never intended as replacements for the established covenant rhythm of the Sabbath. The original design, that foundational rest and connection, remained completely intact right alongside their new fellowship practices. This brings us to a massive turning point. The shift of empire. Rome enters the narrative. History shifted. Not through scripture, but through empire. Let that sink in for a second. That right there is the pivotal realization of this entire historical explainer. The profound fracture in the established scriptural design didn't come from some new divine revelation, and it definitely didn't come from a change in the text. It came entirely from the raw political necessity of human empire. To really see how this played out, we just need to map out the timeline. In the first century, as we just talked about, the apostles and early believers were faithfully keeping the Sabbath. But if we fast forward to the 4th century, the landscape had completely flipped. The Roman Empire was this massive, sprawling entity that was, frankly, dealing with immense internal instability. Constantine desperately needed cohesion. He needed a unified identity to hold a fracturing empire together, which basically meant creating one rhythm and one calendar for everyone across the board to follow. Because Rome needed that absolute cohesion above all else, Constantine took decisive political action. He issued a civil decree specifically honoring the Day of the Sun. Now, to be clear, this wasn't a religious epiphany. It was a strategic political move to blend the empire's various factions under one unified practice. And following this initial civil law, later church councils took it even further by actively discouraging people from keeping the Sabbath. The historical goal here was incredibly clear. They wanted to culturally maneuver the church away from its Jewish roots and formally separate it from the synagogue, creating a distinct, unified Roman tradition. Which naturally leads us right into our next section, political decree versus scripture. What we're really looking at here is a massive collision of two entirely different forces. On one side, you've got the original, ancient, scriptural mandates of the Sabbath, which were deeply covenantal and entirely rooted in divine text. On the flip side, you have Constantine's Sunday tradition, which was purely political and cultural, literally established just to consolidate imperial power. These 4th century decisions were completely devoid of scriptural inspiration. They were human traditions where the very loud voice of empire simply overwrote the original quiet practice of the early believers. Let's shift gears and look at our final part, restoration within the brokenness. So, we've witnessed this massive historical fracture, a profound sever caused by the voice of empire. But if there is a core takeaway from all this history we've covered, it comes down to these 3 foundational truths. Completeness is the design, covenant is the path, and restoration is the promise. Sure, the political decrees of Rome created a major fracture in history, but that underlying Hebrew blueprint of Ezer Kenegdo, that original logic of whole, connected puzzle pieces, that survives human political changes. It still points toward a promised tikkun, a total restoration. So when you ask why Sunday rose to prominence, the historical facts are actually pretty clear. It was the voice of empire, not a change in the divine text. Yet even within that historical fracture, there's this profound reassurance that Yahweh actually shapes our human brokenness into beauty. He isn't distant. He turns confusion into clarity and silence into revelation. Knowing that history was shifted by a Roman political decree, it leaves us all with a rather compelling question to ponder today. How will you choose to align your own rhythm?